Hello. Uh, Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Salestrendz. I welcome all of our partners and the team members who have come forward to join us for this special webinar. Salestrendz has duly been empowering their partners. We have always been giving them resources to expand their business. We truly believe if partner grows their businesses, we at Salestrendz will also grow. So, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to meet most sought after Mr. AJ Goyal to our channel partners who have been looking forward hearing from him. This session has been divided into two parts. Initial part will last for 40 minutes by Mr. AJ Goyal, and Charmi will assist him in running through the slides. Once the session is over, we will take Q&A from the partners. Partners can put in their Q&A on the chat during the session, which will be answered after the session is complete. Mr. AJ Goyal would take it forward.
Was so am I audible, Sachin?
Yes, you're audible.
So I welcome here all our partners and their esteemed team members who have come here to join this webinar. This is a part of the empowerment series that we have been conducting for our channel partners, as we believe that we need to enhance the capacity of our partners to make them stronger. And when our partners become strong, we at Salestrendz also become stronger simultaneously. Here, Charmi assisting me through the slides. So, Sachin, can you keep my video? You can just stop sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will request all the participants to feel free to raise queries. There is a chat option below. If you go to the bottom menu, you can go to the chat and you can write all your queries there. Once the session is over, we will take up the queries one by one. There is a limitation to this kind of webinar that we cannot have impromptu queries in between and the same. But we try to address all the queries as much as it is possible. At the very outset, I want to assure you that we have worked a lot to make this session full of practical insights which you can use in your actual selling. And if you really bring those secrets into your practice, that will definitely change the outcome you are getting in your sales meetings. So here we start. I'll request Charmi to get onto the first slide. So all of us know that it is the selling which makes or break a business. The business starts with selling and it ends at fulfilling our client needs. So our client, our customer is at the core of it. If your business is to scale, if we need to grow in our business, the first and foremost thing which is going to decide is our ability to sell, our ability to close big deals in a time-bound manner. That is the reason we have taken up this topic as first in this series. We want our partners to be professionally trained in the art of selling, whereby they can close the deals in a time-bound manner, in a fast manner. So, Charmi, next please. See, we have divided these tricks of selling into 8 parts. just to make these points extremely clear and extremely dominant in the mind of our partners. First and foremost is that selling is all about asking the right questions. The questions you ask are more important than the things you could ever say. The point here is that generally we have a tendency that as we approach the client, we just start talking about our product. We start with the demonstration. We start telling about ourselves. Here, I want my team, my people to change their approach. Start with asking the questions. In the next phase, we will also discuss what kind of questions to ask, how to ask the questions, what is the purpose of asking the questions. And always remember that in B2B, people don't buy for pleasure. It is different from B2C. We are not selling any luxury items. We are not selling any clothing where people will just buy because they like that product. In B2B, people try to alleviate pain, and alleviating pain is the pleasure. So why we insist so much on raising questions than talking about anything else? Charmy, take to the next slide. So coming to the point that why the questions are so extremely important and what kind of questions we should ask. So the first and foremost is we should ask the open-ended questions. What is the difference between, say, I can ask like how many people you have in your team? The answer will be one word answer. It will be 25, 30. That is not an open-ended question. I'll ask him, sir, can you walk me through your sales process? Sir, can you walk me through how the orders are booked in your company by your people and how you service those orders? These are open-ended questions. Open-ended questions make your prospect talk to you. Open-ended questions make the prospect engage with you. And the questions should be so designed which make prospects talk about their problems. I am starting with asking that, okay, can you just walk me through your order booking process? Or for our software guys, I'll ask you, okay, take me through how you use your leads. I am now asking my channel partners, how you manage your leads. You get a lead from a website, from an email, or from any other source. Tell me what you do with your leads. Walk me through this process from the lead generation to the closure of leads. This will make the person, the prospect, talk about their problems. And what when they start talking, I will ask them cross queries. What kind of cross questions I will ask? Okay, sir, I heard and you are doing an excellent job. You need to compliment them for the great work that they are doing. I know that this is a great company. You are a great company and you have developed this wonderful process. But just tell me, how do you track whether and in what way your sales agents are utilizing their time? Or, sir, tell me, how do you make sure that your guy who is claiming that he has visited 10 clients, how do you make sure that he has actually visited them? Or you may ask, sir, how do you make sure that a client who has placed an order with you doesn't get missed out? How do you make sure that each and every of 10,000 orders that you are getting every day, how do you make sure that each and every order is getting addressed in a timely and in a manner that is required? By this series of questions, what you are trying to do? Mind you, this is extremely important. By asking the right questions, we are converting the superficial plane of your prospect into a deep emotional plane. See what happens, that your prospect is aware that yes, I am lacking somewhere. I need to do it better. My order management is not the perfect way. He always has this worry in his mind that something is wrong. But he is not so sure that what is so wrong in it. You need to surface that pain. You need to bring out into in front of his eyes where he cannot ignore it anymore. Once that superficial pain is highlighted, your prospect becomes aware of the gravity and urgency of his problem. So in this process, what you are trying to do, you are starting with engagement. That is the first purpose of asking questions. And gradually you are trying to take him to a point where he is feeling the pain of it. And you surface out that pain. You magnify that pain. You bring out, once he says that, yes, I don't have a foolproof mechanism to make sure that whether my people are going to the clients or not. Then you will ask, sir, if that is the case, how do you control your cost? How do you make sure that what you are spending on your sales team, whether it is giving you the desired outcome? How do you make sure that who is the best guy in your team, who is performing the best? How do you make sure that you are rewarding your team in the best possible manner? And when you take to the third level, okay, sir, if you are not doing this, I'm surprised how you scale up your business. Then you tell that this problem is blocking your success of your business. Trust me, if you can do this process effectively, starting with the superficial questions, starting with the open-ended questions, and then going deeper and deeper inside uh, his pain and surfacing and opening up those wounds where he gets emotionally involved with you. Once you have done that process, you have uh, more than 50% of your work has already been done. Charmi, can we move on to the next? The next very, very important aspect. See, usually, again, I will say that we go to the client and we start telling about product. We start telling about features. We start telling, sir, my software has this feature, it can do this, it can do that. So the basic learning here is that what you are selling is the features. What your prospects are buying, they are not buying products. They are not buying features. What they are buying? They are buying trust. So first you need to focus on how you are building that trust. In reality, it is the emotions, the cognitive biases, the engagement, which makes the difference. Once you have developed that trust, the sales decision will itself follow. Once he has developed that liking for you, yet this is the guy who understands my problem. This is the guy who can solve my problem effectively. Once you have achieved that trust in the mind of your prospect, you have already closed the deal. The rest just follows. Next. I will elaborate this aspect a little more because this is the heart of this presentation. This is the heart of learning. If you master this art of developing trust in the minds of your prospect, and one thing more I want to add, that this is not just about B2B selling. This is not just about making sales. Whether you are pitching to an investor, whether you are pitching to anybody, whether you are pitching to any stakeholder, whether you are pitching to the team, if you follow this technique, you are bound to be a success. Coming back to the trust, what kind of trust you are trying to build? So after lots of research, we have figured out there are three definite aspects of trust which we want to bring in the mind of our prospect. The first is whether this guy understands my problem. Just imagine visiting a doctor. All of us have visited the doctor with some problem or the other. If the doctor doesn't listen to you, if the doctor doesn't ask you कि बेटा किधर पेन है, पेट में पेन है, इधर आज लाके बता, उसके हाथ पे वो करेगा, पेट पे थोड़ा देखेगा. Doctor has understood the problem even when the patient entered his clinic. If he writes the prescription without talking to the patient, the doctor will not be effective. The patient will not trust the doctor. So first and foremost, after visiting first time when you visit a new doctor, you will always come out and say, try to evaluate whether this doctor understood my problem. So the first element of trust is to bring out, yes, this guy understands my business. This guy understands my problem. The second aspect of the trust is what my prospect is looking at, whether this guy has dealt with this kind of problem in past. I will ask you that you are buying, say, some washing machine, or you are buying a computer. If I tell you that you are the first customer who is buying this computer or this product, will you ever buy it? When you are ordering on Swiggy, you are looking for like how many orders have been placed with this shop earlier, and what has been the experience of those people who have already purchased from this shop. So everybody tries to understand whether this guy has the experience of handling this problem. Nobody will handle him, nobody will give his business to you if he doesn't trust you that you have handled similar problems, even bigger problems in past. And from these two elements of trust comes the final element which becomes the decisive factor, and that is whether this guy will be able to solve my problem successfully. When it comes to software, nobody wants to go for a hit and try. Nobody wants to take that chance that, okay, let me see whether it works or not. He wants to be assured that, yes, if you handle this guy, if you take this guy, your problem will be solved. There is absolutely no doubt in that. Once you build these three elements of trust, you have already cracked the deal. And believe me, then negotiation, the guy will be ready to pay you 10%, 20%, maybe even 50% more than your competitor, because he has the trust that this is the guy who will not fail me. This is the guy who is going to succeed me definitely with surety. Next. Now I told you that the basic purpose, what we are trying to achieve is to develop that trust element. Now the next question is how you build that trust. How that trust will come that, yes, this is the guy who has catered to these problems. It will not happen by presentations. It will not happen by cost benefit analysis. It will not happen by giving him comparative features that this software provides this and I am giving you these features. It is not going to happen with mind. To really convert the lead, to really convert your prospect, when you do a meeting, build stories. Human beings are wired to get on the stories very well. Just I will ask you that if I give you a comparative feature technical presentation on a hi-fi software, how long will it interest you? It doesn't. But when we watch a movie, when we watch an interesting movie, we never come to know when 3 hours have passed. अपने को पता भी नहीं चलता है कि कब 3 घंटे निकल गए. Why? एक अच्छा प्रेजेंटेशन जिसका आपके लिए बहुत उसकी यूटिलिटी है, जो आपके बिजनेस से या आपके फ्यूचर से रिलेटेड है, उस प्रेजेंटेशन को भी हम नहीं सुन पाते हैं, जबकि माइंड हमारा बार बार बोल रहा है कि ये मेरे काम की चीज है. उसके बाद भी हम उसमें इंटरेस्ट जनरेट नहीं कर पाते. लेकिन एक मूवी है जिसका मेरे बिजनेस से, मेरे करियर से, मेरे ग्रोथ से उसका कोई लेना देना नहीं है. इट इज टोटली इररिलेवेंट टू मी. उसके बावजूद मैं उसको 2 घंटा 3 घंटा देखता रहता हूँ. और खाली देखता नहीं रहता, मैं उसके अंदर पूरा डूबा रहता हूँ. उसकी एक एक चीज मुझे याद रहती है. अगर 5 साल बाद भी मुझे आप वो मूवी दिखाओगे तो भी मुझे रिकलेक्ट होता. दैट इज द पावर ऑफ स्टोरीज. ह्यूमन बीइंग्स, दे हैव इवॉल्व्ड टू लर्न फ्रॉम स्टोरीज. अपना जो ब्रेन का कॉग्निटिव पावर है, जो लॉजिक अंडरस्टैंड करने की जो क्षमता है, वो बहुत लिमिटेड है. इसीलिए हमने एडेप्टिव मैकेनिज्म बनाए हैं मिलियंस ऑफ इयर्स में कि टू लर्न फ्रॉम द एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ अदर्स. Human beings automatically learn from how others have experienced. This is a shortcut which God has given us. So that is, the stories build that experience of others for him. Stories give him the way where he can learn from others. Next. So I will go a little deeper into it, because this is the key. Why stories work and presentations are bound to fail. Here, presentation, I mean that logical analysis which discusses the features, and I will discuss the 10 aspects and give weighted average 10 marks to this and 5 marks to this, 3 marks to this. You do n number of exercises, but your mind will not decide on that. We are well geared to listen and remember stories. Stories arouse emotions. Stories lead to that pain, agony, pleasure, hope, dreams. Stories have the power of transformation and insight. Stories bring emotions which lead us to action. Then brain will make us understand. The logic, the calculation just supports our decision. We always try to believe that we are rational, but unfortunately we are not. This is not the way how we decide. Next. I will go a little deeper into, because this is a very critical aspect. I've told you that I told you that you need to build trust, that you understand the problem of your prospect. You need to tell him that you are the guy who will be able to solve his problem effectively. And for that, you need to build stories. What kind of stories? See, I was watching this movie called The Lion King yesterday. In Lion King, there is a lion who is the king of the forest. He is very strong, and he has a prince king. His son, everybody considers that he will become the king when he grows, and he will replace his father as the king. और उसी के अंदर वो जो प्रिंस किंग है, उसका चाचा है जो जेलेसी करता है. वो उसके फादर किंग से जेलेसी करता है. उसको लगता है कि मुझे किंग बनना चाहिए था और उसकी जगह वो किंग बन गया. और वो कॉन्स्पिरेसी करके जो राजा है उसको मार देता है. जो प्रिंस है उसको भी मारने की कोशिश करता है. उसे लगता है कि वो मर गया, लेकिन वो पीछे से निकल के बच जाता है. और वो जो प्रिंस किंग है, उसके बाद एक मंकी दिखाया. मंकी इज इन द रोल ऑफ अ फिलोसोफर. मंकी उस बच्चे को याद दिलाता है कि तेरे बाप के साथ क्या बना था. वो बच्चा बड़ा हो गया है, वो वापस उस झंझट में नहीं पड़ना चाहता है. वो भाग गया था, वो एक अच्छी लाइफ उसकी जी रही थी, उसकी एक अच्छी लाइफ चल रही. He doesn't want to come back and fight because he is having a happy life. लेकिन जो मंकी है वो इसको याद दिलाता है कि देखो तुम्हारे बाप ने क्या किया था और तुम्हारे चाचा ने तुम्हारे साथ क्या किया. And then he comes back. There has to be a moment of transformation. Then he comes back and fights and becomes the winner. Any good movie you watch, you will find the same pattern. The same pattern in all the stories. Once you start looking that pattern, you will get hold of like what engages human beings. So to tell briefly, for a story to be powerful, for a story to be impactful, you need characters, you need a villain, you need a hero, and a friend who will guide your hero. There has to be an unending fight involving pain, frustration for the hero. And then there will be a turning point, an insight transforming the direction of the hero. आप सबने देखा होगा कि हीरो को मार पड़ रही है, विलेन जो है उसको मारता जा रहा है, वो एकदम अधमरा हो गया। एक बार के लिए देखने वाले को डाउट आ जाता है कि कहीं मार ही तो नहीं देगा हीरो को, और फिर उसको अपनी माँ की याद आती है कि बचपन में जब उसकी माँ गुजरने वाली थी तो उसने उसको एक मंत्र दिया था। जब वो एकदम इस तरह के स्टेट में, अधमरे स्टेट में होता है, तब उस मंत्र को याद करता है और फिर वापस खड़ा होता है, और उसके बाद विलेन की ऐसी धुनाई करता है, ऐसी धुनाई करता है, और दर्शक जो है उस पे तालियां बजाते। So you need a turning point. You need an insight transforming the direction of the hero. And finally, you need a climax that the hero wins. There is success, there is happiness, there is peace. This is what engages movies. Next, just go back. I will mention one more point. I will give you an example, like how you build stories when it comes to. So you draw from the stories of your past experiences with your clients and products. For example, you are discussing the pain of order management. Who will say that we have a client called Montex Pen. There is a client called Montex Pen who have 600 salespeople across the geographies. And they have 2,500 distributors and 50,000 retailers. 2 years back, they had absolutely no idea from where the orders were coming and who was supplying the orders. Here, the problem is your villain. You have to magnify the villain. You have to show that this is the villain that you are going to fight. The customer is your hero. The customer is your hero. And you, what is your role? What is the role of your product? You are the friend. Then you say that, then sir, they adopted Salestrendz. They tried this, that didn't work. They tried on WhatsApp, they tried on X, they tried on Jet, but they were not getting what they wanted. And all the time it was a concern, like my 600 people who are every day going in the field, who are every day claiming the TADA allowance. I am spending lakhs of rupees on them. Whether they are doing any work for me, if they were not there, whether there will be any impact on my sales, or they are just there, the people can place the orders, they just go and take the orders. Even if they were not there, the orders would be coming. So that is the pain. And then you give them the insight and say, sir, then Montex Pen adopted Salestrendz. And now, sir, all their orders are lined up. You don't have to look up for anything. The retailers can place the orders directly. The salesman goes. The app on a click shows you who are the top performers, who are the worst performers. If they don't do their work properly, an alert goes to them. And if 3 times the alert has gone, then it will send an alert to you where you can take the action required. So I just gave you an example of how to build a story. You build stories basis your past experiences with your clients and your products, and build some good 8 to 10 stories and spend some time on that, making them better and better every day. Make script for those stories so that you do not miss out on any detail. And stories need to be told passionately. If you just tell a story, there was a monkey and there was a lion king, and then the lion king went and the monkey did not do anything, it will not create impact. You have to sell that, sir, I will tell you about Montex pen. 2 years back, they had absolutely no idea what their 600 sales team was doing in the field. They had a horrible time trying to evaluate who was performing and who was not performing. So it's not only words that speak, it is your passion, it is your body, it is your body language, and you need to deliver those stories effectively. The same stories you can give to your sales team. Your sales teams can also work and practice on those stories so that they also deliver them with same effect. I would again like to emphasize that if you can do this, if you can build some stories and deliver them effectively, it is going to have more impact than any case study, than any kind of presentation, than any kind of features, than any kind of walkthrough of the application. Next. Keep prospecting. This is a very well-known learning that generally we are good at chasing the leads. Whatever leads are there, we will hold meeting, we will take it to next level. But in the process, once we have some 20, 30, 50, 100 leads at hand, we become lethargic and we forget to prospect new leads. That is a big mistake. Regarding prospecting, it is said that what I do today will benefit me a month or two later. So if you are not able to get enough business, just ask yourself whether I am doing enough prospecting. So never stop prospecting. Like 20 to 30% of time of any sales agent should go into generating new leads, new prospects. If your pipeline is full, the closure will keep on happening. So the punchline here is always have more people to see than you have time to see them. Let people be in queue. Tell them that, oh, you want to meet me for Salestrendz. Sorry, I will not be able to meet you in next week. Let me schedule you for 10th of April. That is a healthy thing to happen, and it doesn't turn him off. He also likes it. He feels that, oh, Salestrendz is selling so much, they have so many meetings lined up. So always keep prospecting and keep your funnel full. Next. The next secret is talk about your team, your ethics, your culture. Again, we keep on talking about product, our features. But when it comes, especially when it comes to the service industry, when it comes to the software, what your prospect wants to know is whether he can trust this team. He always has this suspicion in his mind whether this guy will deliver on the commitments that he's making. Because he has seen many people who come, who make a presentation, who make commitments, but they never deliver. The customers are more concerned about you and your team than the product. Especially in software, they fear whether you will deliver on your commitments. And for the first time, they are buying totally into you. Maybe the second time they buy your product. So talk about your team. What you want to talk about your team next? What kind of culture you want to convey? You want to convey, sir, we are not here just to get checks. Once we close the deal, we make sure that you succeed. Sir, we are known that we deliver. Once this guy gets the trust that these are the people who are going to deliver on their commitments, even if you are lacking in few features, he will come to you. And how to build that, how to convey that culture? Again, stories. So build stories around your culture. Sir, I will tell you, we had a client by name of Microscan. They faced this problem. They had asked for a feature which was not there in our product. Our technical team also was struggling on how to deliver that feature. We had given them a quotation of 50,000 rupees, but we found that to actually develop that feature, it is going to take at least 3 to 4 times of what we had estimated. But sir, we never went back to our customer and said that, see, the estimate of cost is like 4 times of our commitment. We have never done that. Once we make commitment, we deliver. Build stories to convey that culture. Next. Recommendations and testimony. Always remember that someone else speaking a word about you is more than 1,000 words you speak about yourself. Sometimes we keep on talking, we keep on speaking, but you need to build a mechanism where your prospect can get to know a word about you, about how other people who have dealt with you think about you. See all these Amazon online channels, including Swiggy and all, why they work so well. Whenever you are buying a product, the opinion of other people is available to you. You know what people have commented on it. People want to know. So even if the prospect is not asking, give him a way to know how other people have reacted to your offering, who have actually dealt with you. Next. For this purpose, like, you will have to be proactive. You will have to build that content. All of you have had kind of clients who have praised you, but you have not bothered to bring it into system. You have not bothered to make sure that your prospects get to know of them. By doing this, you can close your sales fast. His biggest concern, whether this guy will deliver or not, that can be resolved by just giving him 3 or 4 recommendations from your existing clients. So you need to be proactive. Try to get a 60-second video from each client after successful implementation. Get their comments on what they like about you and why. Let them narrate a story around their experiences with you. Use that content. See, this is a very simple thing, but we don't do it. Ask yourself whether I am doing it. Build that content and use that content widely on your website, on your social media, in your client meetings. In your client meetings, take some time and show him the recommendations, the letters that you have got from your clients. Give him the names and phone numbers of the people and ask him, okay, sir, why don't you speak to the Montex company? You have heard the name of this, one of the biggest pen companies in India. Why don't you speak to Mr. Shah, who is the owner of the company, and just ask about us? Believe me, even if he doesn't talk to those people, this very statement, the way you tell, is going to convince him 100 times that this guy is going to stand by his commitment. This guy has solved this problem in the past. This guy knows his job well. So always use these things proactively. Next. This is a slightly technical subject that if you want to really scale up and grow very fast in closing your deals, you need to build customer persona and customer journey. Usually we hold a separate webinar only on this subject, how to build customer persona and how to build the customer journey. But we thought that I must mention it briefly here. How to build a customer persona, analyze the leads where you got successful and where you failed, learn from your experience, deep dive into the decision-making process of your prospect, that why you could have failed, why this could have succeeded. Use that data to create an ideal customer persona for your product and their journey. Next on customer persona, Charlie. See, in the customer persona, what I mean is that identify what kind of industry, what kind of industries, what kind of size of company, what kind of verticals, what kind of functions your product serves the best, where you are getting repeated success. Evaluate your leads basis that experience, basis that data analysis of your existing clients. Also look at failures. It is very important. Where you are getting consistently failed, where you are not able to close the deals. Probably those are not the right industries. Probably those are not the right functions and solutions which you should target. So when you are getting new leads, concentrate your efforts where you are most likely to succeed. Next to the customer persona is the customer journey. You need to track the journey. Like, you need to address these fundamental questions. Whom should I talk? You have different level of people in the prospect company. You have the HR guy, you have the CTO, the tech guy, you have the CEO, you have the sales guy. Now you are selling, for example, a sales software which relates to the field force. So at times you may be talking to the HR guy, or you may be tapping to the sales guy, or you may be talking to the CEO or the owner of the company. So you should understand, basis your past experience, that what works best for you, whether it is the HR to approach, whether it is the tech guy to approach, whether it is the sales guy to approach. Similarly, you need to understand whether to negotiate and to what extent. You quote a price. If you break your price too much, he may feel that you are not worth. आप 100 रुपया कोट करके अगर 50 रुपए में कोई चीज देते हो तो आपको डाउट आ जाएगा कि ये बंदा जेन्युइन है कि नहीं, इसने 100 रुपया कोट किया और इतना किया. तो आपका नेगोशिएशन का क्या स्ट्रेटेजी है? आपसे फ्री ट्रायल मांग रहा है कस्टमर. फ्री ट्रायल के अलग अलग एक्सपीरियंसेस हैं. Free trial key, we have found that many of the prospects, they will just ask free trial and they will never use those trials. The users, the data will never come. The users will not actually run through and leave that application. Then what is the use? So when, in what situation to provide a free trial? And the last is learn to say no. Never go after those ugly deals, those too much of demanding prospects who want the whole world with you. Sometimes in our enthusiasm to close the deals, we will say yes to everything that prospect is saying. We will say कि हाँ सर सब हो जाएगा. वो 4 चीजें आपसे मांग रहा है, हाँ सर ये भी हो जाएगा, हाँ सर ये भी हो जाएगा, हाँ सर ये भी हो जाएगा, सर आप बोलिए हम सब करके देंगे. Never do that. Learn to say no at some extent. See, my objective is not just to close this deal. My objective is to have a happy customer. Learn that all those customers, all those happy customers are going to act as my brand ambassador. They are going to act as evangelists for me. They are the ones who will bring new business to me. They are my force multipliers. They are my recommending guys. So don't say yes to everything. And if the guy is sensible and you say yes to everything, he will again trust. He will again not trust you. He will doubt that this guy is saying yes to everything. He will not be able to deliver. So be choosy. Next. And this is another very important point. You need to have a robust system, especially when, like, you are not alone in your team. You have, say, 2 people, you have 5 people sales team, you have 10 people, and some of our big channel partners have 50 people sales team. Just imagine 50 people, 5 people, 7 people going out, meeting the prospects and trying to close the deals. You need a robust process to track each lead decisively. You need the right technology for assignment of leads amongst your sales team. Each transaction with customer needs to be available. When I am visiting the customer, I should be able to track the entire history of that customer. If my sales manager, if my sales agent is not able to handle a particular prospect, there should be a process driven escalation that it should come to me. If I'm not able to handle, it should go one level above me. Remember, having a robust process is extremely important and is a prerequisite for success, especially when you want to scale, when you want to go to the next level. Next, please. In the end, I would mention a word about passion. See, as I mentioned earlier, it is not the words that you speak. It is your passion which comes out. And passion comes from the conviction. Passion comes from the strength of your past experiences. So you should do what you love. You should love what you do. Sales, if you understand the importance of selling, you will love to attend a sales meeting. You will love to interact with your prospects and understand that it is not only the client. If you meet anybody in flight, if you meet anybody in train, if you are going in a parent-teacher meeting and you are sitting with a guy adjacent to you, everyone is prospect for you. If you have that passion and you talk about your product and what you talk about, simply start with stories. Just try this and see the difference. Trust me, this can do wonders. This can do magics. You don't have to speak anything else. Just build 10 good stories around your product, around your team, around your culture, and deliver them with passion and energy, one after the other. Microsoft is over, start talking about Big Flex, how Big Flex was facing the problem and how Salestrendz solved the problem. If the Big Flex is over, however time you get, whether you talk telephonically, if you are making a call to your this thing, sir, I just wanted to update that we closed this deal and this guy was facing this problem, and we were amazed to see the response. So I will end my discussion with this, that never consider the possibility of failure. If you persist, you will be successful. Trust me. Now, thanks a lot for this session, and now we will take up the question. Sachin, can I hear you?
Yeah. So can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so the first question which has come in is, how do we qualify a lead? Whether if it's a genuine lead or how do we go about qualifying a lead?
Yeah, and in the meantime, Sachin bhai, if anybody wants to raise any question, they can quickly put in a chat and we can take the respective participant also online. You can unmute them and they can raise their question.
Sure.
So this was about how do you qualify the leads. Recently, like in my slide, I talked about customer persona. Basis your past experience, you should develop that what kind of industry, what kind of functions, what kind of pain points you are able to solve. Never mis-sell to anybody. Only when you are sure that my product is the right product for him, only then pitch them. And the second thing is differentiate between want and need. I may be wanting 100 things. I want this, I want that. But every want is not need. What is the difference between a want and a need? Want is a desire. Need is the willingness to spend to fulfill that desire, fulfill that want. So to qualify the lead, there are two main ingredients: whether my product suits his pain, whether I can solve his pain, and secondly, whether he will pay to me, whether he will be ready to pay to me if I fulfill his pain. Be very clear on that. Next, Sachin bhai.
Yeah. Second question which has come in is how do we deal with competition?
Yes, this is a very, very, very good question. How do we deal with competition? See, for example, many of our partners are selling tele. Many of our partners are selling the popular software which is being sold by 100 channel partners around. How do I beat my competitors? And let me tell you, the magic word is the stories and trust. The magic word is the recommendations that come from your existing clients. The magic word is your engagement with your existing clients and with your prospects. Trust me, if he develops that trust that it is Bharat Bhai, it is Deepak Bhai, it is say Mr. Alpesh, he is the guy who will be able to give me services. He understands my problem. He will never go to the competition. Next.
There's a question, how do we deal with undercutting price?
Undercutting of price, as I told you, that learn to say no. You have to again bring back to the focus on your team and the qualities that you can deliver. You have to build stories around it. You have to tell that, sir, एक कस्टमर था, उसका जो है मिस्टर एक्स वाई जेड, उसको सर एक मेरे कॉम्पिटिटर ने फलाना मिस्टर एक्स एंड वाई जेड ने उस तरह का कोस्ट ऑफर कर दिया. वो एक टाइम सर आपको उस तरह का कोस्ट ऑफर कर सकता है. उसके बाद सर अभी वो आपको फोन कर रहा है, फोन नहीं उठा रहा है. वो जो उसने कमिट किया था वो उसको इंटीग्रेशन करके नहीं दे पा रहा है. अब उसके लिए सर देखिए प्रॉब्लम हो गया, उसका सारा बिजनेस जो है वो डेडलॉक पे आ गया. तो एज आई टोल्ड यू कि जितना आप प्रोडक्ट के बारे में बात करते हो, especially when your product is commoditized, when your product is being sold by many people like you, the differentiator is going to be your team, your trust, your capacity to deliver. So you need to emphasize those points by building stories around those. But never forget that only stories will help. No amount of emphasis is going to work. Human mind thinks like that. Yes, next.
One partner is requesting for, is there a set of stories that Salestrendz can share with partners which we can bank on?
Yes, we have our partners will be happy to know that we build stories, and each one of our team, even those who are not in sales, we encourage each member of our team to come up with stories, and we have built number of stories around our product, and we hold competition among our team members where we ask them, okay, you build a story around the customer. Then they will come up and they will stand in front of the team and narrate their story. Other team members will ask questions. They will add value to those stories. And the stories are not static. We keep on improvising on those stories again and again. That is how these stories evolve. And once you have created those stories, they are there for you forever. And they can do that magic. Trust me, in Salestrendz, we have a closure rate of almost 100%. You will not believe. If the customer actually needs our product, if the customer is actually willing to pay, we have not seen even a single failure. Trust me for that. And the entire credit goes to how you deliver with passion and how you use stories to convey your strengths. Yes, next.
There's a question that how do we maintain your sales figures in a major condition like COVID-19, where all these fundamentals look weak?
Sorry, can you just repeat?
The question is that how do we maintain our sales figures when there is a major condition like COVID-19, where all the fundamentals look weak?
Yeah, see, let me tell you that whenever there is a crisis, there will be opportunities. You need an eye to look at those opportunities. These are the times when everybody is feeling depressed about their businesses. This is the time when people are looking at cutting the cost. These are the times when people are getting nervous about how they are going to grow their businesses. But these are the time where opportunities lie. You need an eye, especially in the software. All the software is coming to cloud. You don't need to go to your workplace to have access to the software. So every software has to come onto the cloud. Technology is one area which is going to benefit from this crisis. Trust me, this pre-corona and post-corona will be a different world. And from a tech perspective, we are at the right place to be. Next.
Uh, who is the competition that we have to be aware of and their pros and cons? Are there some cue cards that we can keep in mind when pitching a customer, especially not be surprised to find there is a competition approaching them?
Yes, absolutely. We have to be updated with our competition. We need to be doing lots of research on them. It will be foolish not to be aware of your competition. If the prospect mentions about a competition and you are not aware, you are gone. You will never be able to come back and say. You have to be prepared. In fact, at Salestrendz, we have a dedicated uh, team who tracks on the competition continuously, who continuously keep a track on the features they are coming up. They continuously track on their marketing strategy, on the sales strategy, what they are emphasizing. And you must have a preset answer that okay, अगर कोई मेरे को बीस ये इसका जिक्र करता है तो मुझे उसको कैसे अटैक करना है. You have to be prepared. With this, I thank again all of you for joining this webinar, and we will be looking forward to the next webinar on a different subject, which again empowers all our partners, because what we believe is that if the partners grow, sales trends grow automatically. Over to Sachin.
Thank you, Mr. Goyal, for your valuable inputs on this special webinar, which we have held for our esteemed partners. We look forward to partners joining us again for the next webinar, for which the details would be shared shortly with everyone. Thank you, everyone, and stay safe.